main reason I want to talk about it, he's got me thinking. He's been having me thinking. He mentioned this where it's very difficult for people to come out and dance, or he's not noticing that people are actually sitting down, or people are not coming out to clubs to actually move their body. People are not coming out to move their body, but they would rather just sit in sections and look pretty, look demure, look very chill. And I've always noticed it, and honestly, I feel like that's why I have never truly enjoyed clubs, especially when club culture is promoting the section sanctuaries, section rabbit holes, sections. I don't like sections. Because of, especially at a couple of the clubs that I've been to recently, it always feels like there's them and then there's the others in the lowly dance floor. And now you feel insane for trying to move your body, or even just trying to sit and enjoy, because of there's this dichotomy where it's like, oh yeah, no, you're not part of the cool folks and no one actually wants to dance. But I will say, when a club actually gives space, when a club actually gives the authority for people to just enjoy themselves, the safe space to come out to move their body the way that they will in all the body's glory, you can feel it in the room. And he also said, he's like, hey, I'm gonna have some listening parties. Everyone put away their phones. Give me your phone. I'll give it back to you in 2.5 hours. But yeah, give me your phone. And people actually dance. That's beautiful. And take this as someone that literally just went clubbing this weekend. First of all, shouts out LIB Nation. Happy Independence Day. They were out partying. I was out partying. I had to support my LIB brothers and sisters in arms because of, hey, independence. But I was popping and locking for 2.5 hours straight. If y'all want a story time, let me know in the comments. I was popping and locking. I was vibing. I was getting all into it. And I feel like that is what we need in this world. We need more spaces where individuals do not feel the need to always pop out their phones and be feeling like they're being recorded. Because I know this has happened far too many times. Even in my own short life, there has been times where I have been in multiple viral videos that I never knew were being recorded. Is that not insane? I know some of y'all have just been out, just enjoying life. You know what? Y'all went down to Miami. It was warm. It was cool. You just wanted to see some sun and some beach. And guess what? You're in a front side versus back side, light skin versus dark skin debate video that you had no consent over just because of you want to be out in public just living life. And that's why I wanted to bring up the idea of this social panopticon that we have implemented in our society at whole. I've been thinking about this recently specifically. I remember this philosopher, Michael Foucault. And he's known for his analysis of what happens when people exert power over another. What is their course of action? One of Michael Foucault's most famous theories was the panoptical theory, where he built off of this man named Jeremy, what's his name? Bethenham, where basically is the panoptical prison. Let me explain. Okay, imagine you're in this prison and there's a wall. Well, not just wall, a whole 360 walls just filled with prisoners. They cannot see each other. All they can see is outside behind them and down this hall into where there's this huge tower. And you might be asking, what's inside that tower? A guard is inside that tower. Where the guard is positioned, where he's able to see everybody. All the prisoners at all times, and the prisoners cannot see this guard. And the main idea is, due to the surveillance of the guard, perhaps him being there, he maybe is there, he may be not there, due to him just being there or the illusion that he is there, it will shape the way that these prisoners behave, making them willing to self-govern themselves without knowing if the actual prison guard is there or not, right? And the main reason why they were thinking about this idea was because it was like, oh, it would be a lot cheaper because of, well, one, you don't have to have as many prison guards watching over all these people because of eventually they will whip themselves into shape. And I've been thinking about that a lot. Because it kind of reminds me of the way that the idea of Batman. Let me land. One of Batman's main powers is the fact that you never know if he's coming for you. You might be a low-level thug. You might be a corrupt politician. You might be slanging that green. But you don't know if the Caped Crusader is gonna be around inside that shadow, just waiting to clock you over the head. And that's how he's able to, quote unquote, bring the safety through to Gotham as a whole. And then it also got me thinking in a more practical use, a more practical example that we've all been through. I remember during 2020, during the COVID years, I just had quick flashbacks. I just had more flashbacks. Teachers were hell-bent on making sure everybody had their cameras on. They're like, hey, we need to know that you're paying attention. We need to figure out if you inside the privacy of your own home is actually focusing and actually paying attention. Honestly, I'm not too mad that they did it because of low-key. If the camera was off, I might not have been paying attention. But that's, again, hey, that's another conversation for another day. But as that was going on, you recognize, as I start to recognize that as a society, we've gotten to the point we are actively opting in to these ideas of surveillance. We are actively being like, I am all right with always being watched. And another quick example in our everyday life. There are some insurance companies, especially some auto insurance companies, where they have this beeper type thing where you put it in your car and it's able to track how fast you're going. It's able to track how viciously you're stomping on the brake. It's basically test how good you are at driving, and then you get a discount at the end of the day. Harmless. If you're a good driver, you save maybe $40, $50 to $100 a month. Calm. But then it's as you start going down that rabbit hole, at what point are we giving up too much data? Because I'm thinking one of the main reasons why one of the main differences between the prison and the life that we're living out here is primarily on the fact that we are actively giving up the privacies for the greater good, or the perceived greater good of the life that we could be living by, quote unquote, following the directions. And it started just making me think. It started to make me think. Okay, this is government. This is a company, and that's all well and good. But then I started looking at the way that we play with our phones. Why am I doing that? I started thinking about the way that we play with our phones, right? When we are out, right? When we're actually, this is another philosophical tangent that I'm probably going to go on. When we're outside, there's a lot of things that are actively changing the way that we're interacting with others, the way that we're able to set out our personality traits in context to everyone else that we're around, because of like, hey, when you're around different type of people, you behave different types of way. When in different type of scenarios, you behave in different types of ways. You know, that's all nice and give and take of how our society runs in general, right? But then I started noticing, as we all opt into using social media to the extent that we are, or as we are going out of our way to promote and show off and use ourselves for content, or at least the idea of us, quote unquote, using ourselves from content from people that are actively trying to be social media influencers or celebrity or things of that nature, and the other people that are just like posting because of its hars. It's a great time. They just enjoy doing it. We are slowly but surely molding the way that we are perceiving ourselves and the other people. And with the continuous use of our phones, it feels like we are shaping our society we are shaping ourselves to this amalgamation of wanting to be cool, but also wanting to be perceived as a connecting factor towards other people, which is something that I find very, very interesting.